What if the only thing standing between you and the life you keep dreaming about isn't your situation, isn't your background, but the way you see yourself? Not talent, not luck, not connections, just your confidence. Because right now, somewhere out there, someone with less skill, less intelligence, less potential than you is winning. They're getting the opportunities. They're being noticed. They're moving forward. And you're left wondering, why not me? This is Felix. He's 24 years old. Not lazy, not stupid, not without ambition. But every time life gives him a chance, he hesitates, he overthinks, he doubts, he holds back. And slowly, without realizing it, he starts to believe he's just not that guy. But here's the truth. Today, you're about to discover the hidden weapon that separates people who stay stuck from those who take control. And most people, they ignore it until it's too late.
In the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to build real, unshakable self-confidence, even if right now you feel stuck, unsure, or completely invisible. Not fake confidence, not motivation that fades tomorrow, but something deeper, something that stays with you. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the one mindset shift that quietly separates people who rise from those who remain exactly where they are. The shift Felix didn't understand until it almost cost him everything. But before you can build confidence, you need to see the truth most people avoid, because the real reason people lack confidence isn't what you think.
This is Felix. He's 24 years old. Not lazy, not lost, not without dreams. In fact, he knows exactly what he wants. A better life, freedom, respect. But somehow, he's still stuck. Every day feels the same. Felix wakes up with ideas in his head, plans he's been thinking about for months, maybe years. But when it's time to act, he pauses. He starts thinking, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people say? So instead of moving forward, he waits. And while he's waiting, life doesn't. He scrolls through his phone, watching people his age win, people building businesses, taking risks, living the life he imagined for himself. Some of them he knows he's smarter than. Some of them he knows he's more capable than. But they're out there doing it, and he's still here, thinking about it. Overthinking every move, replaying every possible failure in his mind, until even the smallest step feels too big to take. Every opportunity feels like pressure. Every decision feels like a risk. So he tells himself the same thing again and again. I'm not ready yet. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe when he feels more confident, more prepared, more sure. But tomorrow keeps moving, and nothing changes. But deep down, Felix knows the truth. He knows he's not stuck because he lacks ability. He's stuck because something inside him keeps holding him back. And if he's honest, it's been holding him back for a long time. Because maybe you've said those same words too.
So what's really going on here? Why does someone like Felix, someone with potential, ambition, ideas, still struggle to move forward? It comes down to a few things most people never truly confront. First, the fear of judgment. That quiet voice that says, what will people think? What if I embarrass myself? So instead of taking a risk, you play it safe. You stay quiet. You stay small. Not because you can't do more, but because you're afraid of being seen trying. Now think about it. How many opportunities have you missed just because you didn't want to look foolish? Then there's the weight of past failures. Maybe you tried before and it didn't work. Maybe you took a step and got rejected. And now, every time you think about trying again, that memory comes back, stronger, louder, telling you, don't go through that again. So, you don't. Let me ask you something.
Are you really afraid of failing again, or are you afraid of what that failure says about you? And then, the silent killer, comparison. Watching other people succeed while you're still figuring things out. You start measuring your beginning against someone else's middle. And slowly, without realizing it, you convince yourself you're behind, not good enough, not ready. But here's the truth most people never hear. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you train, just like a muscle. But most people never train it because they believe a lie. They think confidence comes first. They think, once I feel ready, then I'll act. Once I believe in myself, then I'll start. But that's backwards. That's exactly why they stay stuck. Because confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. So if confidence doesn't come first, what does?
For Felix, nothing changed overnight. There was no sudden breakthrough, no perfect moment, no instant confidence. Just a moment, a quiet one. He's sitting alone, thinking about his life. The same thoughts, the same excuses, the same delays. And for the first time, he stops running from it. He looks at everything honestly. The missed chances, the ideas he never acted on, the time that kept moving while he stayed the same. And something hits him, not loudly, but deeply. What if I never feel ready? What if this feeling, this doubt, doesn't magically disappear? What if waiting is the very thing keeping him stuck? That question doesn't scare him, it wakes him up. Because suddenly the truth becomes clear. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And for the first time, Felix makes a different decision. Not a big one, not a perfect one, just a real one. He decides to act. Not when he feels confident, not when everything makes sense. Now. There's still doubt in his mind, still fear in his chest. But this time, he doesn't listen to it. He moves anyway. Not perfectly, not confidently, but he starts.
Now this is where everything starts to shift for Felix. Because action gave him something he never had before. Evidence. Not thoughts, not guesses. Real proof. Lesson 1. Confidence comes from action. Felix used to believe he needed confidence before he could start. But now, he sees it differently. You don't wait to feel confident, you act and confidence follows. One day, he does something small, something he's been avoiding. Not a big move, not a life-changing risk, just one step. And guess what? Nothing bad happens. He doesn't fail horribly. He doesn't get judged the way he imagined. He survives. And that one moment changes something inside him. Because now he knows, maybe I can do this. Lesson 2. Stop seeking approval. Felix realizes something else. Most of his fear wasn't about failure. It was about people, what they would think, what they would say. So he starts doing something different. He speaks up, even when his voice feels shaky. He shares ideas, even when he's unsure. And slowly, he stops needing permission. Because the moment you stop needing validation, you become powerful. Lesson 3. Build evidence, not excuses. Before, Felix had a habit. Excuses. I'm not ready. I need more time. Maybe later. But now, he replaces excuses with action. Small wins. One step today, another tomorrow. And each time he follows through, he builds evidence. Proof that he can try. Proof that he can handle discomfort. Proof that he can grow. Lesson 4. Embrace discomfort. Every small win becomes a brick, and slowly, he builds confidence from the ground up. Here's what Felix learns next. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the path. That nervous feeling, that fear in your chest, that's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're growing. Because growth lives where comfort dies. And the more Felix leans into that discomfort, the stronger he becomes. What once felt scary starts to feel normal. Lesson 5. Change your identity. But the biggest shift? It's not what Felix does, it's how he sees himself. He stops saying, "I'm not confident," and starts asking, "What would a confident person do right now?" Then he does that, again and again, until it becomes real. Because you don't become confident by doing once. You become confident by deciding who you are and proving it with your actions. And now Felix isn't waiting anymore. He's building something, step by step, decision by decision. And for the first time, he's no longer stuck.
And this is where everything changes. Because what Felix begins to understand is something most people go their entire lives without realizing. Confidence isn't a feeling. It's not something you wait for. It's not something that magically appears one day. It's a decision backed by action. A decision to move, even when your mind is full of doubt. A decision to show up, even when you feel unprepared. Because the truth is, the world doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most certain. The ones who step forward, the ones who speak up, the ones who act even when they're unsure. And Felix sees it now. All this time, he wasn't lacking ability. He was lacking the courage to act on it. And maybe that's the same thing holding you back. Because you don't need more time. You don't need to figure everything out. You don't need permission. You need courage. Just enough to take the next step. So where is Felix now? He's not perfect. He still has doubts, still has moments where fear shows up, still questions himself sometimes. But something is different. He's no longer standing still. He's moving, taking small steps, speaking up when it feels uncomfortable, trying even when he's unsure how it will turn out. And that changed everything. Not because the fear disappeared, but because he stopped letting it control him. Felix didn't become fearless. He became someone who acts despite fear. Someone who no longer waits to feel ready, but creates readiness through action. And slowly, his confidence grows. Not from thinking, but from doing. And that's the difference. The difference between people who stay stuck, replaying the same thoughts, waiting for the perfect moment, and people who change their lives. Not in one big leap, but in small, consistent decisions to move forward. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when it's hard.
Now it's your turn. If you're done waiting, done doubting, done holding yourself back, type this in the comments. I choose confidence. Make it real. Make it a decision. Because the moment you say it, you're no longer the same person who stays stuck. And if you're ready to stop living small and start becoming the person you know you can be, subscribe. Not just to watch videos, but to remind yourself every single day that change is possible. And if this message hits you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone who needs to hear this. Because one message at the right time can change everything. Remember this, your life doesn't change when you feel ready. It changes the moment you decide.